It's the new year and you're looking to get a new car. Then head to Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event to find incredible deals on many of Toyota's most popular models, like Camry, Camry Hybrid, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, Prius, Prius Prime, and even Highlander Hybrid. You'll find great ways to save with low payment leases and low APRs, not to mention huge cashback offers. So see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
New Year's resolutions come and go, so your business needs more than that. Get solutions with Comcast Business. With fast internet and advanced Wi-Fi, powerful cybersecurity solutions, 24/7 support, and more. You get everything you need to bounce forward. Call for restrictions and complete details.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 318. So we got a little bit more background on Ghislaine Maxwell and how she met Jeffrey Epstein on the Broken podcast last Wednesday. According to the podcast, Maxwell was set up with Jeffrey Epstein by her pops so he could take care of her emotionally. Me, I don't believe that. Okay? Just I'll come out and say it right off the jump. Emotionally? Yeah, sorry, I don't buy it. Okay? A robot like her, she don't have emotions. Her father, good old Big Bob Maxwell, introduced them so that they could get this operation up and running. That is what I believe. That is where the evidence has led me. And I don't think that anyone can dispute the fact, once you look at all of the evidence, that Ghislaine Maxwell was acting in a leadership position during this whole entire run. When they first started, Maxwell was in charge, right, of all the recruiting, procuring, and then they brought in the Core Four, and that's when Maxwell jumped to the next level. She had underlings below her. She had people carrying out her orders. So Jeffrey Epstein was taking care of her emotionally, leads a little bit too close to the edge of turning her into a victim for me. So, sorry, I don't buy that. I just don't buy it. As you all know, I've been pretty clear about how I feel about Ghislaine Maxwell. I think that she is the brains behind this whole entire operation. And Epstein had a couple of bucks and the proclivities. So let's jump into this article and see what the Daily Mail has to say about Ghislaine Maxwell being introduced to Jeffrey Epstein by her dad. Headline, Billionaire Matchmaker. Ghislaine Maxwell was set up with pedophile Jeffrey Epstein by her disgraced newspaper baron father Robert so he could take care of her emotionally. This article was authored by Daniel Bates. Ghislaine Maxwell once revealed that her father introduced her to Jeffrey Epstein to take care of her emotionally. Oh yeah, because everything that comes out of Ghislaine Maxwell's mouth is what we should listen to, right? So if she's saying that the relationship was started for her to be taken care of emotionally, we have to try and look in between the lines and see what that really means. Because we all know we can't listen to anything this lady says. Everything that's come out of her mouth has been BS, it seems like. The pedophile's alleged chief recruiter confessed to one of his staffers that the late newspaper baron Robert Maxwell set her up with Epstein. Robert apparently believed that Epstein could provide her with the support she needed. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's their cover story. These people that run in these circles, the circles of intelligence, the circles of spycraft, do you really think you're ever going to get the truth out of them? Again, watch a show like The Americans and you'll see what I'm talking about. These people make up whole entire identities and realities to hide within. You really think that Ghislaine Maxwell is above sowing some seeds of discontent, sowing a little bit of seeds of doubt, and talking to the staffer and saying that she was set up by her dad because of the emotional support? It's a good story, right? It's a good cover story, especially for her later on down the line if she wants to set herself up as a victim in all of this, right? Again, this bipedal serpent is thinking 50 moves ahead. Maxwell insisted that Epstein was not there to help financially and was very clear on that point, the staffer said. Yeah, no shit, because Epstein was being paid by her dad, amongst others. Well, we don't think that Robert Maxwell was bankrolling Jeffrey Epstein's nonsense? We don't think that Robert Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were making moves together on the financial front? Look, we don't have direct evidence of that yet, but it's coming, I'm sure. And the fact that Jeffrey Epstein and Robert Maxwell had so many mutual friends, it just does not make any sense to me that Robert Maxwell would not have been bankrolling Jeffrey Epstein in some capacity. So of course it wasn't about the money. The money was how they facilitated their criminal enterprise. According to Broken Seeking Justice, an investigative podcast about the Epstein case, Maxwell met Epstein in 1988 and not after her father died in 1991, which is what was previously suggested. Suggested by whom, by the way? These same people that show up all of a sudden and have all of the answers? We've been talking about this part of the case for how long now here on this podcast? The fact that she obviously didn't meet him right after her father's death. How they had a relationship previous to that. We've talked about that a bunch here on this podcast, and so has others. And yet, now we got the legacy media involved, and all of a sudden they're covering groundbreaking news, right? This is a groundbreaking report. No. Just adds a little more context for us, right? A little more meat on the bone. If this is true, then it changes the dynamic about the couple and suggests that Maxwell did not befriend Epstein while in mourning for Robert, who fell off his yacht in the Canary Islands in mysterious circumstances. Yeah, he fell off his yacht. There's about as much chance that Robert Maxwell fell off that yacht as there is of me of walking into one of these casinos here in Las Vegas and winning megabucks. It is absurd that they would actually think that any of us would believe that Robert Maxwell wasn't clipped. Come on, man. In fact, 19 days after Robert's death, Maxwell was photographed at the Plaza Hotel in New York at a memorial event for her father. She sits wearing a blue silk jacket, smiling at Epstein, who is in a white bow tie with a big grin on his face. Hardly the look of two people meeting for the first time. Yeah. It was pretty obvious when that picture was revealed, right? It's pretty obvious for anyone who's been following the case that the timelines didn't add up. They just did not add up. Ghislaine Maxwell was not some shrinking violet who needed the support of a man, okay? And in the wake of her father's death. That does not fit with who she is, with the image of who she is, with who we know she is. The latest episode of the podcast delves into when Maxwell and Epstein met and began a relationship that would last for some years in the 1990s. Oh, just in the 1990s, huh? No, much longer, probably all the way up till his second arrest, all right? We've seen the emails. We saw the email that came out in the hearing. So stop it, okay? Just stop it. According to federal prosecutors, during this time, Maxwell groomed girls as young as 14, charges she denies and will stand trial next July. Seeking Justice quotes numerous people who knew Maxwell and Epstein who say that they met before Robert's death. Yeah, they certainly did. What, did this just happened in overnight? This whole entire scheme, this whole entire plot? Hell no. This plot had been hatched for quite some time. Maxwell, the rest of his buddies in the mega group, the boys at the CIA, they were just waiting for the right tools to do the job. And Epstein showed up, and Maxwell, who they already knew because of her father, decided to slide in, and boy, it was a match made in heaven for the CIA and the rest of their lackeys. That's right, the Mossad is a lackey of the CIA. Yeah, that's right, all of them. All of these intelligence services, in fact. What do you think? Any of them can do anything without the CIA knowing? One friend says that they understood the pair met in London through Robert, but she wasn't interested in him immediately. Yeah, no shit. That wasn't what it was about. It was never about love. It was never about emotional attachment. It was never about, oh, Jeffrey's such a great guy. I want to be with him for the rest of my life. It was all a means to an end. It was all about putting together this operation and then making sure that it ran in a seamless manner. And that's what they did for decades. With the help from their friends, at the corrupt FBI, the CIA, and insert your favorite politician here. One friend says that they understood the pair met in London through Robert, but she wasn't interested in him immediately. The former Epstein staffer, who is not named, says they were told a similar story by Maxwell herself. Yeah, look, the best lies have a little truth sprinkled in, don't they? Maxwell was planning her cover story a long time ago, from where I'm sitting. That's most certainly what it looks like to me. Let's sow those seeds. Let's let them grow for a little while. And then eventually, if I ever get nailed, we can come back to this part and we can say that I was a victim. That's how she rolls. But in reality, we all know the score, don't we? Everybody has been paying attention, Ghislaine. And your tired old tricks are not going to work. And neither are these BS cover stories. The staffer recalled an unsettling visit to Maxwell's Manhattan apartment in the early 90s when she pulled out 8 photo albums of her father's funeral in Israel. 8 photo albums from a funeral in Israel, huh? Nah, Robert Maxwell had no connections to anybody in intelligence. Why would he be given a state funeral in Israel? Ask yourselves that. Afterwards, the staffer was ready to jump off a bridge, but then Maxwell said something that surprised them. According to journalist Emily Saul, out of the blue, Ghislaine said her dad actually connected her with Epstein. Well, yeah, look, I'm glad that this podcast, Broken, is out there to, help the unsullied and stuff. But those of us who have been following this for quite some time, we were all hip to this, right? We all heard Maria Farmer's interviews. We've all heard everything that had come before. And when you put the pieces together, it's quite obvious that this wasn't some love romance. This wasn't some situation where the two of them fell in love and they were skipping through a field and one of them was frolicking through flowers. None of that was occurring. This was a relationship of mutual, beneficial scumbaggery. The idea was Epstein was someone who could take care of her emotionally, not financially. Ghislaine was very clear on that last part. Again, cover story in my opinion. Could I be wrong? Sure. Might I be out to lunch here? Maybe. But so far, I think my track record is pretty good of sniffing this sort of shit out. And I'll tell you what, my big ol' schnoz is sniffing out some BS here. Others have had different theories about Maxwell and Epstein's relationship. Prince Andrew's cousin, Christina Oxenberg, has told DailyMail.com that she got to know the couple in 1993 and thought that Maxwell wanted to marry Epstein, but he wasn't interested. Again, I do not buy that story. Could have Ghislaine put on that mask and acted like the doe in love? Of course she could have. She was very good at that. She's very good at manipulating the situation. But do I think that this was a love situation where these two were in love? No, I do not. Epstein's former housekeeper in Palm Beach, Juan Alessi, has claimed that Maxwell once told him, "I hate him, but I can't leave." Yeah, well, we could take that a bunch of ways, right? The way I take it is, she can't leave because her handlers haven't given her the okay to stop the operation. And you think Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell wielded power? Wait till you get a load of the intelligence agencies. In the podcast, Epstein survivor Maria Farmer, who claims that Epstein and Maxwell sexually assaulted her, said that she saw the recruiting operation herself when she worked for them in the mid-1990s. This was long before they had allegedly set up the pyramid of recruiters that would allegedly funnel dozens of women to Epstein, and it was just Ghislaine doing it. Farmer says that at 3 p.m. on the dot every day, Ghislaine would materialize on edge and was always dressed immaculately. From Epstein's mansion on Manhattan's Upper East Side, they could hear the school bells ringing for the end of the day, and Maxwell would get all hysterical and say, "I need to get nubiles." I mean, can you imagine? Imagine being near somebody who acted this way. I can't even imagine what Maria went through with these sick bastards. It's just unbelievable. Farmer said they would drive around the neighborhood and hunted children. She said Ghislaine would say, "I got to get a model. Got to get a Victoria's Secret model." I was dumb enough to believe it. I believed it until I didn't. Who would think this woman would be a British witch? She was so nice. So the cover story always was for the workers that worked for Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell at the townhouse, the ones that weren't involved. The cover story was, "Oh, I have to get a model. I'm looking for a model for Victoria's Secret," or "I'm looking for whatever, an actress," or whatever it may be. I'd seen her go drive up half Central Park, tell the driver stop the car. She would jump out. She would give a phone number, write it down, give it to the kids. Everybody always loved her because she seemed so trustworthy. It was pretty wild the way she would run out and get people. I did recognize some of the girls we met in the park the next day when she came in to audition for modeling. She was really excited. Farmer said that after seeing Epstein, a couple of them were crying. I don't remember seeing anyone return ever. And remember, Maria called the FBI on these people, and the FBI did squonks. They did nothing. Not a thing. Virginia Roberts, another Epstein survivor who claims she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew, says that's because Maxwell looks like a nice Mary Poppins figure. You had to trust her. Maxwell was so proud of her prowess as a recruiter that on a trip to Paris, she chastised Roberts for failing at it. You had to trust her because you're a Mary Poppins figure. I'll tell you what, that's one reason I'm glad that I grew up where I grew up, because I don't trust a soul until I can trust you. You get it? Until you've proven to me you're trustworthy, I don't trust you. You're a stranger. I don't know you. I don't know your intentions. I'm not running around with my eyes closed thinking that people have good intentions for me, because life has most certainly shown me the complete opposite. Robert said, "She said, I just can't believe how bad you are at it. Pick any girl in the square." A pretty orange-haired girl walked past. She said, "I'm going to go up to her. You watch. We're going to have her over tonight." Sure enough, that girl was at the hotel that night. And this is another reason why I'm so adamant about Ghislaine Maxwell getting the book thrown at her, about getting slapped with RICO charges. The way she brazenly went about her business, the way she just went after these school children is enough to make me sick. And then you have people who act like it was only the girls that we have heard from. No. Times that by 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever it may be. But there are so many girls who we have not heard from yet. Girls that have not come forward. Girls that might not even be with us anymore. This has been happening for a long time. Who the hell knows? My point is, there are so many other people out there that have been victimized by Ghislaine Maxwell and her machinations. Ghislaine was so proud of herself because she proved to me I was really shitty at procuring girls, and she was amazing at it. There was no sorrow or even you're doing something wrong, you shouldn't do it. There was nothing like that. It was just a game to her. And that's how it is with all these rich people, right? We're just pieces on a chessboard for them, basically. They don't give a damn about me or you or anybody else. All of these clowns, all of these politicians, all of these shitbirds that get up on their ivory tower and talk about how much they care about the people, huh? That's this whole entire so-called polite society. Maxwell stayed in Epstein's orbit until after he was investigated by Palm Beach police in 2005 and later agreed to a sweetheart plea deal under which he served just 15 months in prison. Robert said that Maxwell caught wind there was trouble, adding that Ghislaine only cares about one thing, and that's Ghislaine. Huh, where else have you guys heard that, huh? How long have I been preaching that here on this podcast? Ghislaine Maxwell only cares about herself, only cares about consolidating her power, and only cares about making sure she's not the one left twisting in the wind. So if you were friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, if you were cavorting with Ghislaine Maxwell, if you were having private vegetarian dinners with Ghislaine Maxwell, you should be on notice that your number might be pulled next. If you'd like to contact me, you could do that at Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All of the links that go with this episode can be found in the description box, along with the PayPal account and the GoFundMe account link. People have been asking for me to put those in, so I will do just that. And also, sorry about the dogs barking earlier. They think they're funny. I let them hang out for a couple of minutes, and that's what I get in the bargain. All right, everybody, I will be back later on. I hope you all have a fantastic evening.
It's the new year and you're looking to get a new car. Then head to Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event to find incredible deals on many of Toyota's most popular models, like Camry, Camry Hybrid, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, Prius, Prius Prime, and even Highlander Hybrid. You'll find great ways to save with low payment leases and low APRs, not to mention huge cashback offers. So see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. It's the new year and you're looking to get a new car. Then head to Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event to find incredible deals on many of Toyota's most popular models, like Camry, Camry Hybrid, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, Prius, Prius Prime, and even Highlander Hybrid. You'll find great ways to save with low payment leases and low APRs, not to mention huge cashback offers. So see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.